And we breathe. Breathe and fill up. When you think you're full, breathe in a little bit more air. Expand the lungs. Deep breath in. Release with an ah. Expanding the lungs. Deep breath in. Sip in a little bit more air, even if you feel like you're full. Release with an ah. Deep breath in, beloved. Breath is the lifeline to source, and lung capacity is correlated to life expectancy. Breathe well, breathe deep, live long, be happy. A few more times. Great to do early in the morning as we arise. And if you're watching this in the afternoon or night, there's always a present moment we can deepen into with the breath. Now, pledge to yourself to be great today, and that you will not allow the forces of mediocrity and littleness to consume you whole. Pledge, promise yourself that you will honor today your magnificence, that you will walk in your greatness, that you will not allow yourself to be sucked in or drawn in to pettiness of any kind, including talking about people, talking about little things that don't matter, chitter chatter. You will not be drawn into or sucked into pettiness. Promise yourself that you will be great. You're a great being. You came here for great things, and you do it here in the company of great souls. We honor our greatness, and we honor your greatness this day. You made the pact with yourself. Wonderful. We now open our eyes slowly, opening self, calling up willingness, disintegrating resistance, allowing the great unfoldment of this universe with no fight, allowing. We open our eyes slowly. Wow, we're so happy to be in this life. Wow, this life is freaking awesome. Can you imagine you're in this amazing life? Freaking awesome. Today, lesson 127 in A Course in Miracles. Pulling up the screen share. Wow. Good morning. Good morning, love tubers. There is no love but God's. Lesson 127 in A Course in Miracles. We are on day 127 of our radical commitment to self, capital S self, to be who we are in every aspect of our thought, feeling, action, word, to remember true identity, capital I, is source, not the body. We are here every day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time to remind ourselves of the truth. Perhaps you think that different kinds of love are possible. Whoo, I thought that. Perhaps you think there is a kind of love for this, a kind for that, a way of loving one, another way of loving still another. I grew up with that. Now, of course, we had much unconditional, beautiful love growing up. And in the religion I grew up in, which was the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, they taught that there were 4 kinds of love. Eros, which is the passionate love that you have, like sexuality, sensuality with your lover. Storge, which is sort of like a familial love. There was philia, which is like a brotherly love, like a friend, right? And philia is what Philadelphia is named after. It's the city of brotherly love. And then there was agape. And agape is described as God. So I was trained that there are different kinds of love. And then not only that there were different kinds of love, there were different kinds of ways this love expressed, and that there were different kinds of ways for me to love different kinds of people. And hey, maybe I even loved them differently depending on what they were doing. Is that love? Love is one. It has no separate parts and no degrees. Like, I kind of love you, I kind of don't. You're kind of my friend, but sometimes not. That's not love. No kinds nor levels. There's no kinds of love. There's no levels of love. No divergencies and no distinctions. There's no distinctions between this kind of love and that kind of love. It's not divergent. Sometimes I love you, but I think I'm going to go over here and love this other person. Even though I promised to love you forever, I used to play all those games. It is like itself, unchanged throughout. Love is like itself. Now, we heard an earlier course lesson that taught love created me like itself. We are hearing the reverberation of it. We are hearing an echo of it again, that love is like itself, unchanged throughout. It's like red. Red is red. If you have a pure color, unmixed with anything else, it's red. If you had red paint, my son is a painter and artist, yes, and he has a particular red paint. If you paint it on the wall, it is red. If you paint it on the floor, it is red. If you paint it on a car, it's red. It does not change. It never alters with a person or a circumstance. Love does not change when the circumstances change. Love does not change when the people change. Love does not change with people or circumstances. We need these reminders because we kind of think these things that are strange beliefs indeed, yet we believe them. I believed them for many years. I may still have some of these strange beliefs hidden in my unconscious mind. It is the heart of God and also of his son. Love is the heart of God. The word says that God is love, and also is your heart. It's your essence. It's what you are. You are love. What is love? A vast, infinite energy that creates all. There's a statement that the mystery school, if you're in ascension and initiation, that we're about to go to in the mystery school, it's one of the 11 statements of creation. And one of the statements says that there is an infinite power that continually creates and sustains the universe. That's how I think of love, that it is a vast, infinite power, energy. We could call it the quantum field, God, the universe, that continually creates and sustains all. It's creation didn't end. Creation is an unfoldment. The even our solar system is, bursting new stars at its edges. It is sustaining all. I am sustained by the love of God. Love is your heart. Love is my heart. Love is the heart of source. Love's meaning is obscure to anyone who thinks love can change. I thought love could change. First, I love you, now I don't. I loved you, now you're getting on my nerves. I loved you so much, I wanted to marry you, and now I hate you so much, I got to get away from you. We call that divorce. I did that twice. I said to myself, wait a minute. I think I'm, I think I'm I think I'm playing this game inappropriately. Not wrong, never make yourself wrong. I think I'm making mistakes that I don't have to make. Love does not see that changing love must be impossible. He does not see love's meaning is obscure to anyone who thinks that love can change. If you think that love can change, then that person does not see that changing love must be impossible. It's impossible for love to change. Love never changed. Love is the rock of Gibraltar. Love is the I am. Love is all. It does not change. And thus he thinks that he can love at times and hate at other times. That's what I thought. He also thinks that love can be bestowed on one and yet remain itself, although it is withheld from others. I love you, but I don't love those people over there. We think that's love. To believe these things of love is not to understand it. If we believe that love can be bestowed upon one person and withheld from another person, if we believe that love can be withheld, we don't understand love. If it can make such distinctions, if love could make distinctions, it would have to judge between the righteous and the sinner and perceive the Son of God in separate parts. If love was going to say, I'm going to love that one and I'm not going to love that one, then it would have to have a basis for determining who it will love and who it will not love. And the basis of determining whether you receive love or don't receive love would have to be a judgment, which means this one did something good, therefore granting a love pass, you get love, and this one didn't, so you get no love. Now we know the universe doesn't work like that because the sun is shining on everybody. The sun didn't say, yesterday you were mean for 10 minutes, so 10 minutes you get no sunlight today. Water is not making any distinction from who drinks it. A hellion can drink water, a priest can drink water, a wonderful person can drink water, a mean person can drink water and get all the benefits. The universe is not making distinctions. It's not. These distinctions are made up in our minds. Love does not judge. It would have to, if it's going to say, I love you and not you, it would have to see all of us as separate. Love doesn't do that because only the ego does that. Love cannot judge. I remember a few years ago, because I'm in A Course in Miracles for many years now. I remember a few years ago, I read this line and I was so shook. I was shook. Love cannot judge. Those 3 words. I was so shook. I walked around like in a daze that day. And then I actually went to my Facebook account, my profile, and I put it in bold words on my Facebook profile. Love cannot judge. Love doesn't even have the capacity to judge you. Whoa. Love cannot, it literally cannot judge between one person and another person, or between good and bad, or between anything at all. Love cannot judge. If love cannot judge, then every time I'm judging, I'm not in love. As it is one itself, love is one. Love is one. It looks on all as one. Love looks on all as one. Now, we may not like the murderer and the rapist, and we want to lock them away forever and never see them again. Are they still breathing? Yes. Are they still getting sunlight? Yes. Are they still hearing the voice? Is the voice for God still deep within their minds? Yes. Is the serial killer still connected to source? Yes. Is Source still loving the serial killer, even though the serial killer has such a strange mind that it thinks it needs to, for some bizarre reason, go out and kill people? Yes. Love is one. It's not making distinctions. We make distinctions. You did something bad. I don't love you anymore. But you're so wonderful. I really love you. Love does not make these distinctions. Love does not see us as separate. Love is one. Love is all. Its meaning lies in oneness, and it must elude the mind that thinks of it as partial or in part. Love will elude your mind if you believe that it's partial, it has divergencies, it has distinctions, it has conditions, it has favorites, it plays favorites. Sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not. I could be loved one day and not loved the next day. Maybe I'm loving if I'm kind, but I'm unlovable if I'm mean. Love doesn't do any of that. That's all trash. Let's get it. Let's just wash our minds of all of this craziness. It's trash. There is no love but God's, and all of love is His. There is no love but God's. Tell yourself, there is no love but God. There's not this like come and go love. There's not this Saturday kind of love. There's not this, ooh, I'm in the club and we're going to sex tonight kind of love, but then tomorrow, I don't know who you are. Bye, I'm going to leave before breakfast. You know, we was doing all these different things. Calling it love. Yeah, love the one you're with. Love the one you're with? I mean, these are beautiful songs. We love these songs. But think about what it means. Yes, I'm going to love the one I'm with, and I'm going to love all, because love is all. There is no other principle that rules where love is not. There's nothing else that's ruling other than love. There's nothing else that God is other than love. There's nothing else that this universe is other than love, and love is one. Love is a law without an opposite. Love doesn't have an opposite. Some people say the opposite of love is hate, and some people say the opposite of love is complacency. I don't care at all. Well, all is in love, all is one. Love is a law, doesn't have an opposite. It's wholeness. You see, it sees the whole cosmos as one, the wholeness, the oneness, the continuity of love is the power holding everything as one, the link between the Father and the Son, which holds them both forever as the same. Love is doing that. Love is holding all as one. We know this. We know, listen, we get to travel all around the world, thank God, right? We get to travel all around the world. I'm just looking at Clubhouse here on YouTube and Facebook as you look at me. Just looked at the screen. We get to travel all over the world. We just returned from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Some of us went through Turkey. Some of us went to other locations on the way, like Qatar, the most fabulous airport in the entire world. It won, like, if you ever go in the Qatar airport, just walk around and just, if you ever can fly through Qatar or go to Qatar, it's magnificent. Anyway, all the countries we get to go to, China and Hong Kong and India and Peru and Bali and throughout Latin America and in Mexico where I live part-time and all over the world. Dubai, now we just came from the Middle East and the Persian Gulf. One thing you will observe is that all people, now they all wear different clothes. They're in these different countries. They're wearing different garb. They're speaking different languages. They're eating different food. They have different religions, they have different cultures. And at the core, we all aspire to the same things: happiness, peace, joy. There is a continuity in all humans, all of us. We all kind of want the same thing, different ways, and not everybody wants a house. I'm talking about the ephemeral and the exalted. We know that there is such a thing as awe. Some would call it God and worshiping. Atheists believe in awe too, because maybe an atheist is having awe of the sunrise or a birth of a baby. Awe. We understand all. We understand that which is beyond the physical. We understand love and peace. We understand abundance and happiness. You sit around a table and all of us are eating and you feel this oneness. We understand these things. And when we're not completely hijacked by the lower mind, we're living it. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. There could not be a course on the planet and beyond that is whose purpose. What is the purpose of this course? To teach you to remember what you really are. That's all. To remember in the very beginning, day one, go to day one again, day one, and listen to the introduction again. It's really beautiful to listen to the introduction over and over and over again, because the introduction means so much more now that we're on day 127 than it did when we were on day one. In the introduction, it says, nothing unreal exists. Nothing real can be threatened. Herein lies the peace of God. Well, the peace of God means it is dependent upon, it is determined by how well I can know what's real and what's not real. This, sometimes I love you, sometimes I don't. Oh, I love you, but I don't like you. I've said that a lot of times. That's not real. Love is real. Source is real. Joy is real. Peace is real. Abundance is real. Right? Beauty is real. This fakery around us, this third dimension that some call a simulation, this is not real. How do you know it's not real? It keeps changing. Love never changes. So, what the Course is saying here, paragraph 4, sentence 1, no course whose purpose, the purpose of the Course, is to teach you to remember what you really are, which is divine, could fail to emphasize. Now, a course that has that as its aim to teach you to remember who you really are, if that is the aim, it cannot fail to emphasize that there is never a difference in what you are and what love is. There is no distinction between you and love. We'll know this when we remember who we really are. Love's meaning is your own and shared by God Himself, God itself, God herself, God, Goddess, I am, Source, Olodumare, all Allah, all of the wonderful names we have, Jehovah, Yahweh, all of the names we have for Source is our names for love, our names for you. For what you are is what He is. What you are is what Source is. There's no love but His. There's no love but the love of this universe. And we've already determined and we've already established that it's not in bits and pieces, parts and parceled out, favorites and non-favorites, distinctions and divergencies. We've already established it doesn't have that. Love is one, love is whole, love is all. There's no love but His, and what He is everything there is. Everything is love. It makes it very simple. You're love, I'm love, Source is love, we're all love. Goodbye, end of story. Goodbye littleness, and goodbye confusion, and goodbye complexity, which is just another word for the ego. Goodbye to all of that, because we have come to one simple knowing: all is love. Love is one, and there's no love but God's, and we're all the love of God, and we came from the love of God, and that's all there is. Make it very simple for yourself. There is no limit placed upon Himself, and so you are unlimited as well. There are no limits placed on God. There are no limits on love. Therefore, you have no limits either. Because if you're the same as Source, and Source has no limits, how can you have limits? Now you might say, well, I do have limits. I can't just get up and do anything. Let's be clear. Your stunt double, also known as the body, also known as your avatar, also known as your communication device, so you can, your avatar, and Ready Player One, I watched that on the way to Dubai. And then that is a fascinating movie because that's right where we are now with the metaverse. Ready Player One You made up an avatar to go into the game. It's the same thing. Life in this third dimension is a game. And your higher self, you, true self, capital S self, made up an avatar to suit your purposes, the purposes of the soul, the purposes of love, to come into the game on the third dimension. So your avatar, my avatar, looks like a Black woman. I've been telling people for years, as long as I've been on YouTube, over 13 years now, I'm not a Black woman. I just look like one. You never see me with no, you look at all 1,000+ videos on this YouTube channel. You would never see me say Black Lives Matter. You would never hear me say, yeah, let's kill the whitey. You will never hear me say, these are things I grew up with. I grew up in Harlem. I grew up with people that had placed limits upon themselves. What were the limits? I'm a Black person. Oh, I'm a Black person born in Harlem. Boom. You got about 20,000 limitations on what you can do in the game. Because the game don't like Black people, or the game, when you go to this part of the world in America, they don't like Black people. Okay, you go to this part of the world, they like Black people. Okay, if you're playing the game from the limited perspective of your avatar, there is no limit placed upon himself, and so you are unlimited as well. You're not a woman, you're not a man. All the trans conversations will simply be resolved. Why? Because everyone's God. And whatever you want to do with your stunt double, make it a woman, make it a male, beautiful, do it. It's your avatar. Do it. And the real you don't have a penis or a vagina or neither or both. The real you is infinite energy. We're identified with a little self, therefore limiting the infinite being you are. Yeah, you can do anything. And I'm not talking about your stunt double. No law the world obeys can help you grasp love's meaning. No laws of this world will help you grasp what love really is, therefore, what you really are. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret. The world made stunt doubles, things that look very real, a body that's an avatar. I'm over here, you're over here, separation. These are the laws of the world. It's all built on separation. It's all built on that this whole third dimension is real. This third dimension is not real. You know how, here's another way you can tell that it's not real, other than, in addition to that, it keeps changing, that you can change it at will with your mind. So which one would be real, your mind or that which can be changed with your mind at any time? You can change it at any time with your mind. Mind is real. But if you can change something, and if you can change something with your mind, how is that thing real when you can shape it like silly putty into one thing and then into something else, like Play-Doh? We know this deep inside. We know all this. What the world believes was made to hide love's meaning and to keep it dark and secret. There is not one principle the world upholds, but violates the truth of what love is and what you are as well. All of the principles. Please understand that when you are in the matrix, Neo, in a pod with things hooked to your neural circuits, playing a fake world in front of your awareness, it's the perfect metaphor for what's really going on the third dimension. And you've been in contact with dimensions beyond, and you're probably in contact with dimensions beyond right now. Science has already proven 12 to 13 discernible dimensions. And we know that if they can discern 12 to 13 dimensions, there's probably unlimited dimensions. The world makes laws for you to hide in a pod. That's where Neo was. He was in the pod. And the matrix was hooked to his neural circuits, and all the humans that they were using for batteries. If you think that this is some absolute ridiculous sci-fi, look at the world. They used the whole planet in 2020 and 2021, or attempted to. Many of us didn't subscribe to it. They attempted to use the entire planet as batteries to prop up and to billionize, if that's even a word, the pharmaceutical industry. They bribed people to get the snake bite. And I'm not calling it a snake bite to judge it one way or the other. You want to get it, you don't want it, don't get it. I don't care. It's your stunt double. Do whatever you want to do with it. I'm calling it the snake bite because if I call it something else, YouTube will come after me. we have to code the things we say now on YouTube to be able to get the point across, because they just be slashing people left and right. If they ever slash me, I'm telling you over and over again, all the videos are on Odyssey, which uses the library blockchain. So if ever one day you ever don't see Reverend Val for whatever reason, cancel, you know that I'm uncancelable. I will be somewhere. Okay? All these laws that the third dimension, the matrix, is observing, these are for people that are in the matrix. They're not for you. You who know who you are. I wish somebody would tell me what to do with my body. Please. I belong to love. I am love. I am God's. And I am a God. I'm a godling. You can't tell a godling what to do. I keep saying to people, please be sovereign. Please remember who you are. Please be sovereign. Please walk in your sovereignty. If you walked in your sovereignty, you would not be dependent upon anyone or anything in the third dimension. And therefore, they would not be able to use a dependency against you to keep you in line. The only reason, and I'm going to hurt some feelings right now. I like hurting feelings to save souls. I like it. The only reason they can get you to take the snake bite is because you work at a place because you've convinced yourself you need a job and they got you to take the snake bite. Or maybe you think it was a great thing to take it. Great, wonderful. Either way, if it was not your 100% choice, and there was any pressure from the outside whatsoever, other than let me turn within, is this for me? Yes or no? It's going to be yes or no. It's going to be real simple. Either way, there ain't no wrong answers. Whatever source told you, and you do it, and you're going to get the requisite law of cause and effect experience of going down that path, which is going to have some delicious learning in it for you, whether you do it or don't do it. There ain't no wrong or right. And there ain't no, things that cannot be undone. Nothing, there's no things that cannot be undone. So for people who didn't want to do it, yet they felt they had to do it, it's a lesson in sovereignty. No, I'm a sovereign being. I am a God walking upon the planet. People do not tell gods what to do. Gods determine for themselves what to do. That's how it works. Now, if you're living a life anything other than that, you have a painful life indeed. I hope something I just said got in there like a thorn in your side, or makes you look at your life and say, am I sovereign or am I a victim? Because I can't be both. You are a sovereign being, created so by source. Okay, I was created by source. Love created me like itself. When did I go and put shackles on myself from something I'm holding in my mind that is not true? I need a job. I need money. I need to get something. I need this. I need that. Really? Is it a sovereign being taken care of by the universe? Of course. There is not one principle the world upholds but violates the truth of what love is and what you are as well. Everything the third dimension believes is in antithesis to who and what you really are. If we don't understand this, you cannot reconcile the third dimension and love. You just have to recognize that the third dimension is not real. And it doesn't mean that you're supposed to sit down and not do anything. Well, it's not real, so let me just let the whole thing go to hell in a handbasket. No, get in the game and play the game. Didn't Neo and Trinity and Morpheus, didn't they go into the Matrix? Of course they did. They would go into the Matrix for missions. They would go into the Matrix to do things. And when they went into the Matrix, they was looking like fire. They went into the matrix. You chose to go into the matrix for a wonderful reason, and you can help more people out of the matrix. Seek not within the world to find yourself. Capital S, self. You will never find yourself in money. You will never find yourself in relationships. You will never find yourself in the eyes of your lover. You will never find yourself outside of yourself. Close your eyes and go within and find yourself. You must disconnect from the matrix to find yourself. Love is not found in darkness and in death. You can't look around here in this third dimensional world and believe that you are going to find truth in darkness and death, and believe that you're going to find love somewhere outside yourself. Will you love me? Will you love me? Will you love me? Please, somebody love me. Instead of closing our eyes and turning within and finding the greatest love of all. Yet is perfectly apparent to the eyes that see and ears that hear love's voice. It's perfectly apparent. Once you hear love's voice, it is perfectly apparent that nothing that you do will ever let you see love in the third dimension. Does it mean that love does not permeate the third dimension? It doesn't mean that. What we're saying is you're looking for the source of love where it's not. You're looking outside yourself for something that is inside yourself. Here it is. We're looking where it's not, which is a favorite tactic of the ego, the lower mind, which is not evil, it's just ignorant, it just doesn't know shit. That lower mind is in the game. And in the game, the lower mind has a few tricks it likes to play. And one of them is seek but do not find. Keep looking where it's not. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Wow, did I used to do that? Looking for love in all the wrong places. Remember Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live? Looking for love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Today we practice making free your mind of all the laws you think you must obey. All the shit you think you have to do. Of all the limits under which you live. Oh, free me from all my limits and all the changes that you think are part of human destiny. Well, now we got to all be on meds because I guess that's just part of human destiny. They're just pouring out all these antidepressants and all these pills just everywhere. Everybody is on opiates or whatever. Not everyone. A lot of people. Well, I guess that's just where the world is going now. Well, we just can't cope, I guess. Well, the world's just full of war. I guess we're always going to have a war. That's just part of human destiny. No, it's not. Free your mind, Neo. Free your mind. That's what Morpheus said. He said, jump off that building. Neo was like, what? I mean, I was doing kung fu with you a few minutes ago, but jump off a building? What? He said, free your mind, Neo. It was in your mind. Today, we take the largest single step this course requests in your advance toward its established goal. Yes, today, we take the largest single step that this course requests. It doesn't say you have to. You don't have to come out the matrix. You can just lie in your nice little pod forever. You don't have to come out of the matrix. You really don't. There's nothing you have to do. You're a sovereign being. You can sit on the sofa forever and just till there's a skeleton there and just wait for the zombie apocalypse. You can do that. Maybe if you're in A Course in Miracles, you probably want more. If you achieve the faintest glimmering, it says the faintest glimmering, like you don't have to know all, you don't have to have this big, huge revelation. The faintest glimmering of what love means today. You have advanced in distance without measure and in time beyond the count of years to your release, that you are going to be released from all the little petty things you believe about yourself, about the world, about other people, about love, about God, about the nature of this universe. You'll be freed from all that. Let us together then be glad to give some time to God today. You see, the course gives you this opportunity to be happy about meditation. because it tells you all the rewards and all the goodies and all the perks and the dessert that's on the other side of your meditation. We have a little sound because in a we're in a 3D matrix. So let's be glad that we're going to give time to God today so that we can free our minds for 15 minutes twice today. Escape. Make your escape. You know, like those people that are in jail and every night when they go to bed, they move their bunk and they get this little spoon that they managed to heist from the commissary, from the little food place. And, you know, it wasn't a plastic spoon. It was actually a metal spoon. And they just sawing away and taking out a little bit of dirt, like Shawshank Redemption, right? You just displace the dirt and just go into the yard and just dump out the little shavings you were able to shave off to free yourself from your prison cell. And one day you're going to make your escape because you will have built a whole tunnel. That's how you need to be. Most people don't even realize they're in a prison. So they're not even trying to escape because most people believe that other people are the problem. And that, as the Course taught us, what is the ego's prime directive, or what is one of the big things with the ego, the lower mind? It tells us these things so we can be aware. It says, here's the ego's plan for happiness. Determine who or what must change other than you for you to be happy. That's the plan of the ego for your salvation. Determine, that's a recipe to be a victim for your whole entire life and to be miserable all the time. Determine in the ego's plan for salvation. Let's be clear about this. Let's be very clear. In the ego's plan for salvation. Now, God's plan for salvation is forgive and be free and come home to your true self and be happy and light up the whole world. And when you switch your light on, everybody's light gets brighter. And we're all one and we're all in this together and we're all loved. Now, that's God's plan for salvation. The ego's plan for salvation is determine who or what must change for me to be happy. Who? You need to stop doing so and so for me to be happy. What? Oh, I can't tell you how many lovers I've said that to. You need to stop doing that. Or you need to do this. Or you need to pick up your socks. You need to stop putting that glass that's just sweating on our new wood, and now there's a circle. Who the fuck cares about a circle on the wood? Who? Is that important to your life? Oh, it used to be so important to me when I had just this beautiful home and keeping everything so beautiful. You're just destroying the furniture, and we spent all this money for the furniture. Can you please leave your boots by the door? Chucking mud all over the carpet. Well, we have a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, but I just vacuumed. I'm gonna vacuum again. I wouldn't have to vacuum again if you didn't walk on the floor. This is madness, people. I don't know. Have you ever engaged in madness? I engaged in so much madness, and I didn't know it was madness. I thought it was normal. That's not normal. That's insane. That's why the Course calls the ego insane. Because the ego's plan for salvation, for you to be happy, is determine what outside of yourself, a circumstance, a house, an apartment, a lover, kids, mama, daddy, whatever out here has to change. You're rearranging the furniture except you. No, don't change your mind. All of that out there has got to change. Do you understand why people stay? And that's the default system. That is the default system. And if you do not actively pull that thing out of your head like Neo did and get out of the matrix, fight for your life, like it says, escape from every law in which you now believe. If you don't plot your escape and dig that tunnel and get out of that prison of the mind, oh, you got a life sentence. Open your mind and rest. Ooh, can we do that? Open your mind and rest. The world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. It seems like we're in a prison. And what the Course is telling us is that this is make-believe. It's a house of cards. Because as soon as you close your eyes and rest, you find the real world. The real world, I'm going to say something strange right now. is actually the world of your dreams, is actually the world where you can swim with no apparatus. You're completely unlimited. You fly all the time in the real world. You hang out with tigers, everything, nothing ever is getting you. Even if something is chasing you, it never can catch you in your dreams. Have you noticed? And if it almost catches you, like it's just about to grab you, you wake up. You never can die in your real dreams. You know this. So you're doing all kinds of things. You're leaping off of buildings. You're doing all kinds of things that you are literally Neo in your dreams. And you go to this world every single night, and your soul is freed of the shackles of the body. So we're not talking about anything that is completely unfamiliar to you. Why does the world think about dragons? Have you ever seen a dragon in your life? I haven't seen a dragon in my life. I know dragons are real. How do we know that? Because maybe they're in another dimension. You've gone to multiple dimensions before. You've done all this before. You've talked to people that you thought was dead. You've had messages from people that were on the other side of the world. I mean, you do all this stuff all the time. The world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. You can't be stuck in the patterns of the mind and want to hold your position and want to be right. Then, well, you get to be stuck in the matrix. Withdraw all value you have placed upon its meager offerings and senseless gifts, and let the gift of God replace them all. You know, there has to be this letting go of all the things we think are so important. It's so important that I do this for mom and dad. It's so important that I take care of this kid, even though I don't want to. No, it's not. That it doesn't work that way in the universe. In the universe, source is taking care of everyone and everything. And it's so important that I stay married until the kids grow up, because I don't want the kids to be in a broken relationship, broken home kind of situation. No, it's not. Those are all laws of the world. You get to turn within, and you get to understand the love of God and the gift of God that replaces all of these senseless gifts that we get from the third dimension. Call to your Father, certain that his voice will answer. Mother, Father, God, I know you hear me. He himself has promised this, and he himself will place a spark of truth within your mind. Wherever you give up a false belief, give up a false belief, get a spark of truth. Give up another false belief, get another spark of truth. Give up another false belief, get a spark of truth. A dark illusion of your own reality and what love means. You'll get rid of all those illusions. He will shine through your idle thoughts today and help you understand the truth of love. Ooh, shine through, Spirit. Help me understand love. In loving gentleness, he will abide with you as you allow his voice to teach love's meaning to your clean and open mind. Okay, I have a clean and open mind. Okay, for 15 minutes, I'm going to be still and let God's thoughts speak to me. Let the voice for God speak to me. I have a clean and open mind, Spirit. Talk to me. And he will bless the lesson with his love. Today, the legion of the future years of waiting for salvation disappears before the timelessness of what you learn today. Timelessness is your friend, is your ally. Let us give thanks today that we are spared a future like the past. Thank God. You're not going to keep doing the same things that you were doing before. You're not going to keep getting the same horrible outcomes. Today, we leave the past behind us, never more to be remembered. Today, you're leaving behind all of the horrible things that we think happened to us. We're leaving it all behind. Today, we have a clean and open mind. Talk to me, love. And we raise our eyes upon a different present. We have a different present. We're brand new in this moment. And when a future dawns unlike the past in every attribute, that your future will be unlike your past in every attribute. The world in infancy is newly born, and we will watch it grow in health and strength to shed its blessing upon all who come to learn to cast aside the world they thought was made in hate to be love's enemy. Ooh, we thought there was a world that could be actually the enemy, that could be the enemy of love. We were in illusions. Now are they all made free along with us? Now are they all our brothers in God's love? All the people you hated, you're reconciled to today. All the people that hurted you, hurt you, hurted is not a word, pardon me, hurt, All the people who hurt us, we're reconciled with them today. All of existence, we are reconciled with it today because we know love is one. We will remember them throughout the day because we cannot leave a part of us outside our love if we would know ourselves. You cannot leave anyone out of love if you're going to know yourself. It said earlier, you cannot cherish, hold on to what you want to believe. If you still want to believe that this person did you wrong and they're out of the love, you cannot know yourself. So pick one. Either you're going to know yourself as complete love, one and whole, reconciled with the whole, or you will remain split, separate, little, hurt, wounded, and basically holding down the property values for all of our consciousness. You're just want to hold down the property because we're all in this together. Some are like, hey, let's take our neighborhood up. Let's take property values up. And some are like, you got the trashiest house in the neighborhood. The house is your consciousness. Clean up your consciousness. Build up your house. Have it look beautiful. Have it be magnificent. Wouldn't you like to have the mansion? Yeah, we're all making mansions around here of our consciousness. At least 3 times an hour, in addition to the 2 15-minute segments that you'll do today. You'll do one in the morning, one in the evening. 3 times an hour, think of one who makes this journey with you and who came to learn what you must learn, who came into a body to learn what I must learn. Let me bring them along with me 3 times a day. And it's at 3 times an hour. Pardon me, source. 3 times an hour. And as he comes to mind, as this person comes to mind, he, she, they, whomever, as they come to mind, you know, the one that we want to leave outside of love. We have a few. Give him this message from yourself. I bless you, brother, with the love of God. I bless you, sister, with the love of God. I bless you, beloved, with the love of God, which I would share with you because I'm knowing that we're one in this. For I would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's, and yours and mine and everyone's. Wow. I need to just sit here and meditate for about an hour. Lesson 127. There is no love but God's. I'm going to conclude with this. Back in the day, I knew I had a lot of different strange names that were not speaking to the essence of who I am or who I was. And I was on the spiritual path, and this was about 2000. I can tell you the exact year this was. This was 2006. And now as I speak, this is 2022. I don't know when you were watching this. You could be watching this in 21, 22. All good. So from 2006 to 2022, so this was about 14 years ago. And it was about the same time of year. It's May now. This happened in July. And I looked up. I was at a spiritual retreat high in the mountains. And I looked up the Catskill Mountains of New York at an amazing retreat center. It may still be there. It's called Omega. And I looked up and I was standing there for a deep spiritual process for the week. And when I looked up, I stood under a tree and I said to the universe, what is my name? I just was like, I had come to the end of the rope. You know how you get to the end of your rope? And clear as day, the universe said to me, your name is love. I was like, clear as day. It said, your name is love. The voice was clear, simple, non-judgmental, completely clean, completely void of emotion. It was like an arrow. It was like Rainbow says, I see Rainbow in the room. It was like a spear. You know how he says that you're a spear, you're your own spear? It was like a spear. Your name is love. And it said it like it had been asked, waiting for me to ask the question. Like all this time, I hadn't asked the question. It was as if it had been waiting for me to ask the question and answer. When I got back from that retreat, I went straight to the clubhouse. They didn't have clubhouse back then. I went straight to the uh, courthouse. I filed all the papers and I changed my name. And I dropped all the other names I had before. I dropped the middle name and I only kept Valerie. Valerie Love. Valerie means valiant one or power. So it's like the valiance or the power of that, the valiant power of love. Your name is love. That's it, and that's all. Your name is love, and so is everyone else's. I'm done talking. We're going to end the live stream. Love you. Peace. Love you, love tubers. Love you.